Today we're going to be reviewing sections 2.1 to 2.5. My goal is to help you do better on your test for tomorrow. So this very first problem, what I am looking for, I want you to go ahead and write the original problem, then box in the answer once you think you have it correct. Go. When you have a problem like this, let's look at it automatically. There is a negative, there's also a positive. My answer has to be what? Okay, so if it helps you, put it right there. I know my answer is negative. Now, I'm just kind of doing the problem as if the negative's not there. 2.6, remember when you divide, you're putting it over the first number every time. Divided by 1.3. I am not allowed to have a decimal point right here, ever. So I have to move it over and move it over. Show me this work, that you understand what's happening to the decimal point. That means 26 divided by 13, which we know is 2. So the correct answer is now negative 2. My first team that had it correct was team 4. Problem 2, we're finding the product or the quotient. For this one, it is a quotient. Am I allowed to divide fractions? No. So what method do I have to use? KFC. Keep the first one, flip the second fraction, and change the operation. As you can see, there's a lot here that I can cross-reduce. When you do that, you get 6 over 2. A lot of people yesterday on the quiz told me that's the answer. What's wrong with that, guys? You can simplify that. What's 6 divided by 2? 3 is the correct answer. Find the product or quotient. For this one, we're multiplying. Remember, when you have a mixed number, you have to make it improper. Improper, thank you all, one of you. What does this become if it's improper? Okay, listen, a lot of you said that's 5 over 4, but what should it be? Negative. That's why many people got this answer wrong. Negative 5 over 4 times a third. Do I do KFC? No. Why not? It's not division. This is multiplying. We only use KFC whenever we're dividing. So now, can I cross-reduce anything? No. Before we do anything, please tell me, what sign is my answer? Negative. Negative, because there's one negative number. 5 times 1 is 5. 4 times 3 is 12. Negative 5/12 is correct. This one is asking you to write the mixed number as a decimal. Be careful. A lot of you, when you wrote the answers, you did not give me a decimal. Always go back, double check what the instructions ask. There's 2 ways to do this. Some things that I saw many of you do is you turned this into an improper fraction, which would have been 36 over 5. Remember, I don't know why people keep messing this up. This does not mean 5 divided by 36. That is switched. You need to put the top number underneath the division sign. That means 36 divided by 5. Then you can go ahead and give it right there, okay? A 5 goes into a 36 7 times. When you bring this down, now it goes in 2 times. When you get to the end, and this is a 0, you are done. The correct answer is 7.2. Here's another thing. Sometimes people know, okay, that's a whole number, 7. Then some people have already memorized 1/5 means 0.2. So you don't have to show work on that one if you have it memorized. Or you could take 1/5 and just go ahead and see, okay, that means 0.2. So then you would know I had a whole number 7 and then 0.2. There are many ways you could have gotten that answer, but the correct answer is 7.2. All right, I saw a lot of correct answers, but a few people made some simple mistakes. Everyone listen up here. Negative 10.6. So the first thing you want to do is see the whole number. Guys, what's the whole number there? 10. Not 10. Negative 10. So I'm going to bring negative 10 down. Now, there's one part that's still left. 0.6. What place is the 0.6 in? The tenths. So 0.6 means 6 tenths. Listen, this is what I saw on many people's quizzes. They put 0.6 tenths. Let me teach you something. You are never, ever allowed to have a decimal point and a fraction at the same time. 0.6 means 6 tenths. It does not mean 0.6 tenths. That doesn't even exist, okay? So, can this be reduced? Yes, you could divide the top by 2 and divide the bottom by 2. If you do that, what's 6 divided by 2? 3. What's 10 divided by 2? 5. This is what a lot of people did for me. Is 3/5 my answer? No. You have to look back. It's -10 and 3/5. That is your correct answer. Okay, remember, if it starts as a negative, your final answer must still be a negative. This has asked you to use the number properties. Many people on their quiz just gave me an answer, but they didn't follow the instructions to use number properties. Remember, the commutative property says that I can switch the order of the numbers. What is similar to 2/3?
3/2.
-3/2. So what I am doing here is I am switching the order of those two times 4/8. When you look at it now, I'm going to do this first part together, and we can see that some of these numbers can cross-reduce. This becomes a 1, a 1, a 1, and a 1. I am multiplying one negative and one positive, so my answer is negative. Okay, so -1, and then I still have to bring this part down, times 4/8. Guys, what's -1 times 4/8? -4/8. But this is what a lot of people said. I'm done. 4 people in our class didn't forget to do something. What do I have to do to that? Simplify it. Reduce. What's the correct answer? -1/2. For this kind of a problem, it's a plug it in, plug it in. As I look at a lot of your boards, many of you did not plug in the correct answer. What is H?
H is 12.
What is K?
-4.
Okay. On the quiz, many people forgot to attach that negative with it. Then, plus a -2. According to PEMDAS, I've got to divide first. What's 12 divided by -4? -3. Plus -2. Guys, every number has a sign, and that sign is directly in front of that number. Guys, is this the same sign or different sign? Every number has a sign, and that sign is directly in front of that number. Are those the same signs or different signs? Same sign. Add the numbers and keep the sign. 3 plus 2 is 5, and it was a negative. -5 is the correct answer. Plug it in, plug it in. What is my K?
Your K is -4.
Okay, watch this.
With a 2 over it. So
Listen.
okay.
I have to square my K. What is my K? No. Tell me what K is. -4, which means I am squaring this number right here. I'm squaring -4. Minus, I know that my H was a 12, and I have to divide by -2. Listen, a lot of you are not plugging it in. I will give you partial credit if I see that you've plugged it in correctly. So please plug in the numbers. If yours doesn't look like this right now, erase it and fix it, please. Next up, PEMDAS says to do the exponents first. -4 squared means
4 times 4.
-4 times -4. Guys, what's -4 times -4?
16.
Positive 16, because 2 negatives equals a positive. Bring down -12. Divided by -2. Tons of people, when doing this, even now and on the quiz, they worked from left to right. We cannot work from left to right. Every time, with every problem from now until the end of your math career, you must use PEMDAS. That's the order of operation. It tells us to do division before ever doing subtraction. What is 12 divided by -2?
-6.
-6. Then you have to bring this down. 16 minus -6. What do you see there, guys? A double negative. So this becomes a positive, and we turn our answer to 16 plus 6. The only person with the correct answer was Hunter. This problem is very similar to the problem we had yesterday on our quiz about the snowfall. It's also similar to the grizzly bear problem. A snowboarder descends from an elevation of 2,000 feet to an elevation of 1,500 feet in 20 seconds. What is the mean change in elevation per second? So what that's asking us is we want to take what it was that we had at the end, okay, the final elevation, and subtract the initial or the beginning elevation, and divide it by the what?
Seconds.
The seconds or the time. This snowboarder, what was he at the end, his finale?
1,500 feet.
Okay, he ended at 1,500 feet. I have to subtract what he began at. What was he beginning at?
2,000.
2,000 feet. Divided by the time. How much time did it take him? 20 seconds. Here's where everybody made a mistake. Guys, is this the same sign or a different sign? Different sign. Subtract the numbers, which most of you did, and take the sign of the larger number. What's the larger number? 2,000. Is 2,000 positive or negative? Negative. It's a negative divided by 20. Now, I've got zeros at the end here, so I can basically cross off a 0, which means I am left with negative 50 over 2. Can that be simplified?
Yes.
To what?
Negative 25.
Okay, listen, this is what a lot of people put, negative 25 over 1 or negative 25. It's a modeling real life problem, so you must have units attached always. Negative 25 feet per second. Okay? So here's the first thing you got to do. You are looking at the correct moves. Guys, how many correct moves did he have?
No, three.
He had 3 correct moves. How many points does he get for a correct move?
15.
15. So what's 3 times 15?
45.
Are those positive or negative points?
Positive.
Those are positive points. Next up, I have to take into account how much time or how many minutes it took him. How many minutes did it take? 8. How many points does he get for every minute? Not 5. He loses points, negative 5. What's 8 times negative 5?
Negative 40.
Negative 40. So if I'm putting this together, I've got 45 minus 40, which equals what, guys? Don't forget, I must have units attached. Guys, please go home and study 2.1 through 2.5 for your test tomorrow.